Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to introduce you to someone whom you should already know, Mike Steinman, the winner of Yu-Gi-Overdose's 4th Dueling Network tournament. Mike Steinman's famous in the Yu-Gi-Oh community because he's already got 3 Nats tops, 1 YCS top, and now he's got a championship in our tournaments under his belt. So, Mike, you won with Fire Fists. Let's get right into it. Say hello to everybody before we begin.
What's up?
Okay. So, first things first. This was the first tournament of the new format. You decided to run Fire Fist. What do you think other people were going to run, and why did you decide Fire Fist was the best pick?
Well, I didn't like any of the top decks. It was either water, rabbit, or fire. And I think like the only way macro because like you have to offset the normal somehow. And I didn't want to like weaken my matchups against the board to like have a chance to flip it against water because they could still have MST, they could still like go off and then you draw it. So that like killed it in my mind. And then water, I usually like playing the top deck, but like if they have like a soul drain or a deep fissure, like you just lose. Like it wasn't like wind up, so you could have like they decide in the hand traps and the rivalries and Thunder King and Rabbit to just beat down. Like it's just all you have to do is like play deep fissure, stop a diva play, and then like your whole deck's done. So I wanted something that could do some like it just wouldn't get shut down that easy. It was so good. So Fire Fist up too because it had the Tensin, the Dragon, and everything. So I just decided to cut the bad cards and play Fire Fist. I thought there'd be a lot of Rabbit. It has a really good Rabbit matchup, and you can make it Fist Dwellers, so water isn't that hard.
Okay. Well, let's start talking about some of your individual card choices. Your Fire Fist build was unique in several respects. The first is it was more like Giovanni's. I'm sure you've seen it. Giovanni's list than most of the other Fire Fist decks. It didn't run Dragon. You didn't run Tensin. You run one Tensu, and you also ran cards like Cardi. You stuck with tour guides with no Night Assailant. You didn't run a second set of normals, and you went with 3 Fiendish Chains. Like I think you went 2 Deep Prisons and two, but the 3 Fiendish Chains. Let's talk about these cards. Why did you decide to use these?
Yeah, there's a lot of confusing looking things at first. I shout out, I made the deck with Dalton Balisman. He's like my other half. Like we're like the same person, but Dalton Balisman and Luke Feeney, he's Squirmy Wormy on DN. And let's see. Actually, like to explain the cards, they were pot of dualities, but decided that we wanted to conversion. Like you wouldn't normally like think of it when you see the list, but I take out all the Fire Fist cards, it's 8 cards, and I put in stun cards, so it turns into a stun deck. So if they side Overworked and Crush, or if they're like mating macro or they side in macro, that does nothing. And you're just beating them down while they have those deck cards. And that's why you couldn't play Duality, because it would make their mind crushes. So we cut the card. Like I cut down like the dragons and stuff. I'm playing like 1 gorilla, so it felt like I wasn't really playing monsters. So with the heavy trap lineup, I felt like it was just like a pot of greed, basically. And if I did have my combo going, then there's not really stopping Bear Tenki. Like I can draw the card, just keep it in my hand. The tour guides look weird with just 3 normals, but if they open Rabbit, then that makes my tour guides rabbits. So I have 4 rabbits in my deck. So if they're opening broken, I get to open broken too. And if that doesn't happen, like Zen Mains is huge against Rabbit. Leviathan's big against water. I think Elijah, he like won a match, or he won a game against Billy, just with like the Utopia, because 25 is so huge. You can't make Tempo and Leviathan game 2 and 3 because it's overworked, so that was kind of dumb. But you can use a game 1, and yeah, basically Levier was a huge one. If like Prison Bear, you can Levier it back. You can do a bunch of cool tricks with Levier. 3 Fiendish Chain, I just feel like next to like Warning, Judgment, and Trench, it was like the best trap you could have. Like I just wanted more good traps against water, and it's a really good trap against water. It's decent against the Evil Czars. It's alright against Fire Fist if you can run over the bear or whatever.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why didn't you use more normal monsters?
I hate normal monsters.
I mean, you said, I mean, listen, no one likes normal monsters. No one says, yeah, I think my deck is missing a vanilla 1900. You know, you said you felt like you were low on monsters. And, I mean, I think, generally speaking, and this isn't to critique the deck. I mean, you obviously did well with it and whatnot. But for me, I don't like Tour Guide so much as a standalone card, unless I have the ability. For like with Rabbit, it's great, but if I can't Rabbit twice, I mean, for me, it's like, okay, why am I running these Tour Guides? It's just a big monster, and I mean that could be all well and good, but like it would hurt my feelings a lot if I ever drew Rabbit Tour Guide and couldn't get a second
I
set
did
of
open
normals.
Rabbit Tour Guide a lot, and I was like, well, shit, this isn't that good.
Okay.
But
Going back, would you? Let me ask you this before we go on. Going back, is there anything that you would change about the deck?
the main deck was solid. We thought about Breakthrough Skill over Fiendish, having like 2 Breakthrough and a Fiendish, just because like resolving one makes Gaios irrelevant. It makes all the Evil Zors irrelevant. Like it erases it from the game because like if they summon it, it doesn't do anything. But Fiendish just seemed like the more stable card, and we didn't have time to test it, so I'm testing it now. But Sabersaurus was something Giovanni used, right? We were siding Sabersaurus the night before, but we took it out because like I always drew a mismatch, like a werewolf and a saber, or I couldn't go into like it just went into like Utopia and Black Ship, and the only time I wanted it was to rabbit into Dolka against water. I just figured I could rabbit into this Dweller and be the same thing and not waste 3 spots.
True story. Okay. Well, let's talk more about this conversion side. It's not obvious to most people. I think most people who are taking your deck and trying to use it on their own are, you know, they're when they side game 2 and 3, they're keeping in the Fire Fist stuff, so they're not using it the way they're not using it the way you used it. And let's I think it was, I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was Cyber Dragon, Banisher, Snowman, Thunder King. I mean, they'll see it. I'm gonna put it up right now, so everyone's looking at it.
Yeah, I played those, and then Deep Fissure, a 3rd Prison, and 2 Overworld.
Okay, so I mean, a lot of this is obvious, but just run through what you would typically side in for the matches.
Alright, against Water, I took out the 8 Fire Fists always, and then against Water, I put in Banishers. I want to talk about Banisher for a sec. Like, that card is nuts. I drew a hand against Water, and it was like Tengu, Banisher, like Tour Guide, and like a Werewolf. It's like super shitty. But I summoned Banisher, and he had to go Pike and swing into it. Summoned another one, he went Pike, swing into it. And then I topped the Rabbit, made an Abyss Dweller, and he had to go Dragoons over it. And then, like, eventually I won. And at the end, he showed me 2 Abyss Walls that he had face down. It's like, wow, I drew like so shitty or whatever, and like I just said, yeah, man, bad luck or whatever. But like he opened like Pike, Dragoons, like double Squall, like just even without traps, it makes it so even if they out it, they're wasting their cards. So that card's really nuts even without traps. But it's like summoning a Abyss Dweller from your hand. But I took out those 8 for Banisher, Deep Fissure, and Thunder King, and that was 8 for Water. And against Rabbit, I took out everything but a bear. Like, I kept in bear sometimes because they never let it go through. They always keep the protection for bear, even though I have no targets for it. So that's how the conversion side worked. So I put in against Rabbit 2 Cyber Dragon, 2 Snowman, 2 Thunder King, and the Prison, and then kept in the bear. And against the mirror match, I put in, I think it was 2 Cyber, 2 Thunder King, 2 Overworked, Prison, and kept in the bear. And there was a game where I went to 6 cards in deck, and he at the end of it he mind crushed and called bear just to see like if I did side out of it, and he didn't see a bear. And I was like, well, shoot, like he knows what I'm doing. And I had it layouted. You told us to do the alphabetical before I sent it to you, but we had it so the fire fist was at the bottom of the deck, and it was like all like so you could just click the click, and I side decked back in fire fist in 5 seconds, so it just looked like I loaded the game and then clicked done siding. So he took another minute, and I think he took out the overworks and mind crushes and stuff.
What match was this?
Against water, it was like round 6, I think, or round 5. And he took out the overwork, and I summoned a bear, and he was like, he just attacked that, like he didn't expect me to put him back in so fast.
That's pretty funny.
That was pretty, yeah.
That's a DN trick. Keep the cards that you're going to side out at the bottom of the deck. Make it super quick. That's really good. I want to back up for a second because there's something I want to touch on before I forget. I forgot to ask you about Tengu. You know, people use it in their Fire Fist deck mostly because it's a Beast Warrior. But I mean, do you? How do you feel about that card generally?
It was one of my favorite cards in the deck. Like, it's so huge against Rabbit. It's huge against Mirror Match. There's a lot of decks, or there's a lot of cards in my deck that people want to stop. Like, they're summoned. That's why I play Card Tour Guide. Like, they want to stop Card Tour Guide, the Bears, Tengu. They can't stop it all. So something's going to go through, and those are all really good monsters when they go through. Tengu won me a lot of games. I searched it off Tenki a lot. I searched Werewolf off Tenki once, too. The finals. So that was interesting.
Okay, let me ask you this. Point blank, why is Tengu good?
It's just huge. It's a huge floater against Rabbit. They're just every deck's beat down except for water, and against water it's a floater, so it's easier to make Abyss Dweller.
True
so
story.
A big floater.
It helps you set up for the Abyss Dweller. Okay.
Search is cool.
Huh?
A big floater. And just being an extra target because I don't run dragons or I just I run one gorilla. So
gotcha.
It was nice.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say about your deck before we move forward?
I'm not sure if I would use the conversion side again. It was pretty good, but it was something I was testing out. I don't think a lot of people, like as the format goes on, I don't think a lot of people are gonna side deck. Like we expected like triple overwork and like maybe some mind crushers just because there's a new format, windups are dead, so people had all that side space. And I think as like the format goes on, people are gonna find better cards to side deck, not just like 5 for Fire Fist, like 7 for water, and a couple for Mirror Match or something like that.
Okay.
It's good right now at the beginning.
Okay. Well, let's get into your general tournament experience. I forgot to ask you at the beginning. At the end of this tournament, you won. You were the winner of a Dark Magician of Chaos, and I mean, I guess regrettably you decided not to keep that card. So I bought it off of you, and I just want to get a quick question so I can verify to all the viewers. How quickly did you get paid for that Dark Magician of Chaos?
Like a couple of minutes after I won, it was right after. It's pretty awesome.
That's cool. All right. That's all I wanted to confirm. All right, so let's talk about your tournament experience. There were 7 rounds of Swiss and 3 in top 8, so there were 10 matches to go through. Let's go one by one. What happened round 1?
That was the round I lost, the only round, and I lost to 6 Samurais. He opened Gateway, United, Shein, and like Safe Zone. I was able to tour guide in Zen mains and blow up the Safe Zone. But then he had like Double Edge. I know he had Solemn, but I guess he didn't need a Double Edge.
You're such a terrible player.
Yeah.
He clearly outskilled you.
Just screwed up somewhere. But game 2 was the same thing. I set 3 and he had Heavy Storm, so like I already lost, but then he had like United Gateway too. So.
All right, game 2. I mean match 2, round 2. Sorry.
Match 2 I played against Dino Rabbit. Game 1 he flipped up an early macro, which wasn't really hurting me, but then he returned for 5 cards and I lost. So at this point I'm like I lost a Samurais, and like a return from a different dimension. I was like, holy shit. And then game 2 the conversion side got him. like Cyber Dragon, Snowman, everything. And game 3, it was the same thing. Game 2 and 3, he had overworks in, so I don't know if he thought I kept it in or not. But game 2 is pretty fast, so he probably didn't have time to think about that.
Okay.
You know?
Round 3?
I played Dalton and Mirror same deck.
Right. Okay, so just to clear this up, because a lot of people have been watching it on YouTube, and for whatever reason, I don't understand why, they seem to think that Dalton cheated.
He did.
No, Tenki searches tour guide. Tenki searches card. They're beast warriors, and I tried explaining that, but I don't. I think it's just beyond them. Why don't you just clear it up for them once and for all?
Well, I didn't know hard draw had that effect where you could give it to your opponent, but yeah, we just talked about it before and we were just messing around, so I was just gonna have to win.
Right.
So we're sitting right next to each other. We played top 8 right next to each other. We both disconnected at the same time, so
wonderful. All right, round 4.
I think it was water. I don't remember, but it was too low. It was Mono Mermail, and he put all his cards into like a Gaios and I killed it, and they put all his cards into a bigger and I killed it. So he was really reckless with his cards, and it didn't work out.
Did you ever feature that round?
No.
No. All right, and somebody else did the same thing. I watched that at one point. All right, so it was 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay, round 6 or round 5?
I'm 5. Yeah. I played Luke, who was playing the same deck.
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, it was really back and forth. Game 1 I got, game 2 he got, and game 3 I got. It was whoever won the gyro had all the momentum. So
did you guys talk beforehand about who was going to take the win, or is it just say, oh, let's play it out?
No, we just played it out. We're on Skype. We're like, fuck it, let's just do it.
Okay. And round 6?
Round 6 I played against Undying Water, which I feel like is better deck. It was a grind because he never really drew controller. He resolved Undying like all the time, and I just know, I don't really remember, but I know Banisher put in work. That's the match where I got Mind Crush with 6 cards in deck, and you saw I wasn't playing Fire Fist. So the game 3 where like I had my main deck and I was excited for him, but he wasn't excited. We thought I was playing Stun. So game 3, it was like a blowout because like like I had all the sides for him and he didn't have anything for me, and I just had Banishers. I put in the Fire Fist, but I kept Banishers and Figures. I took out Hardcar and Porgan for 3 Banisher and 3 Figure. So I had all the Fire Fists to go over Undying. I had all the Banishers, the D-Fissures, the Rabbit to go into this water. It was just way too much. Like a triple Phoenix Chain. But like at that point, it was like made to just like leave the water. And his butt.
Let me ask you a quick question. I mean, just to elaborate on this point, you said you felt Undying version was better than the Mono Mermail. Any particular reason, or just a whim?
I think at Miami it was like ridiculously good. Like the surprise factor of like bringing out like a Dolphin water is really good. But I think now that people know, Undying is just more flexible. Like it has Rolling Glacia, it has Salvage. It has the XYZ plays. Like you have to play controller, but like easy DeLorean and Gun Gear. I just feel like it has more options than just like summoning a Gaios, especially when it's expected and when people are playing best to beat best Gaios.
Got you.
I think it's gonna be like it's gonna see a lot more play over Phoenix Chain.
What is?
You can stop like a pipe and then you can remove it and stop a Gaios.
Oh, breakthrough skill?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Well, we'll see. Round 7?
My opponent fell asleep, I guess. There's a guy playing top 8, Curry's.
Right, Jesse Erickson. I had never seen that happen before, where someone like storms through a tournament and decides to just not play the last round.
Did he know he was making it or something?
The what?
Did he know he was making top 8, or did he just get lucky?
No, I think he. I don't know. I feel like he took a loss at some point. I don't think he was undefeated. I think Giovanni was the only undefeated at that point.
Or it was him and Brandon, right? No, there were 3 undefeated. He must have been undefeated.
Oh, that might have been true.
I think Dalton was the only X2.
Top 8?
Top 8, I played the guy when I played around 7. He was playing characters.
So he woke up for his match.
What?
So he woke up for his match?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to wait like 10 minutes, but he woke up. And then I think he opened Merchant to search the Bogart Knight guy, the Nishi, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened Heavy Storm, Rescue Rabbit, Phoenix Chain, Solemn Judgment, Bottomless, something else. So it was like a complete blowout. And Heavy Rabbit swung over. He made a Catastor and then teleported a Psychic Commander out, and then I disconnected. And Dalton was right next to me, disconnected too. He was in a winning position. But reconnected for game 2, and I don't really remember how game 2 went. It's a feature match.
Yeah, so anyone could just go watch it.
Yeah.
Game 3 though, you pulled it out.
Yeah, game 3. You know when your hand loads and it comes across the screen. I did this, and Dalton was already done, and I said, "Please tell me if I open a Cyber Dragon." And he was like, "Yep." And I was like, "I can open my eyes." And the guy's like comboing off. And he ends with 2 Grado, Stardust, and 2 back rows. And I have like Cyber Dragon, Thunder King, Lance, Bottomless, Torrential, and something else. So I go, Cyber Dragon? He was like, "What? LOL." I was like, "Yeah." And Contact. And I was considering not swinging, but Dalton was like, "Just swing your Thunder King Lance for the Stardust if he has the decree." So I was like, "Alright." Like, I read Phoenix Chain and like a bluff. He kept in Anatomy and Cash, I think, game 2. So I thought 1 was a bluff, but it was Mirror Force and Decree, and I still got there to that Thunder King and Lance. And then there's a point where I could have black tripped his soldier. Is that the recruiter?
Yeah, I actually remember saying that you should. Did you watch the feature match already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say because I said that. Okay.
I was thinking about it. Here's at 48, so I was going through my deck, like what cards I could. Like Rabbit was already game. I ended up topping it, but I was just hoping he didn't have like the guy that turns, Thunder King of Defense or something, or a Teleport or a Psychic Commander. Even if he had Commander, I still had the Werewolf to keep swinging, but I just wanted to put pressure on him before he could like resolve another decree and like go off and stuff. But I'm not sure. Like the black chip would have been good too because he would have used both his cards. I would have torrential, and then I topped like Bottomless and then Solemn and then Rabbit. So I just didn't want to like have to top monsters. It was just like a hope thing.
Okay. Anyway, top 4. I didn't see that one.
I played Levitin. After I talked mad shit to him. That wasn't necessary, but game 1, he just goes off. He goes like, Gear Frame, Fortress, discard Fortress for Fortress, like discard Fortress, Reborn, like throw all my traps. And I have a Mirror Force set, and he has a Fortress, a Gear Frame, and something else. I think it wasn't a Gigan, it was something else. And I thought for like 10 minutes on if I should Mirror Force. And because that game I opened Rabbit into Tiger King, so it was possible that he was just trying to like aggro me out because I opened with so much advantage, and that was just his only hope to bluff Sally Road. And I had the hand where I could like come back from it, so I just took all the damage. And I topped him up, and Mystical Space Typhoon was like, okay, let's see what it is. It was a Bottomless. So it was nothing, and then he attacked me Mirror Force next turn, and scooped it up. And then game 2, I opened all monsters in a Deep Prison, and like, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's just like going off, doing all this aggro stuff, not playing around anything, and I almost got it because there was a time where he had a Utopia and an armor, and I made a Thunder King in a Utopia, and I swung at the armor with the Utopia, he negated, and then passed, and then he summoned stuff. He summoned enough things to get my Utopia off board, but he couldn't flip the armor because he had to flip the armor to do all that stuff, the attack, and then it just killed itself. And then next turn I was gonna Tour Guide. There's no way he was gonna see it coming. Tour Guide, Tempo, take the last material off Utopia, Swing Utopia, have it kill itself. Swing Armor, kill it, and then have Thunder King attack direct. But he had Effect Veiler, so that got me game 2. And game 3, it was like a grindish game. I had Thunder King from the start, and I had a bunch of back rows. I made a Tiger King, and he had 2 back rows and an armor. I MST'd 1, it was Deep Prison. And I had Thunder King and then the Tiger guy. And I went Tiger Swing, he Deep Prison. I lanced it, flipped up the armor, I took, 600, and then passed. And next turn, he couldn't do anything. He just set another card, put the armor back down, and I swung at it again, and swung with Thunder King, and then he made like a last-ditch effort to Fortress, but I had Bottomless down, and I got him. So Thunder King got him game 3, really bad.
I think that's just something you gotta know about Paul, like it or not. He doesn't care about back rows. He doesn't care about gores. He doesn't care about anything. He's the kind of player. He's like, show it to me. And he takes advantage of the people who try to bluff it. But I mean, I think it's stupid. But sometimes it works out. So I mean,
it really shocked seeing Paul Levin play like that.
Oh, then you've never seen him play before.
Like, caught me off guard for sure.
He does that a lot. But even that's going back to the GOAT format. He was the guy who played the one decree and just went balls to the wall, even in GOAT format. Anyway.
Yeah, I used to study his feature matches like when he was the zoo and shit. Like, yeah.
Anyway, so last round, top 2, final feature match.
Yeah, I played my teammate, Jeremy. And,
you guys are teammates?
Yeah, it's like 3 teams, but it's all owned by 1 person, and he's on 1 and I'm on a different one.
Okay.
So we're pretty much teammates. But I knew him when they first added him, and he's grown a lot as a player, so he got a lot better, even though he did infantry that Phoenix chain is out for. But I don't really remember anything but game 3 because.
Well, let's start it. Let's point out something remarkable happened game 1.
Oh right, I disconnected game 1. I forgot about that.
Right. You have terrible internet.
I was gonna Shockmaster. I had 10-2. That was the game I had for Werewolf because I was terrified of Gaios. Like he had a background, I thought it was small, so I tanked for it because I had Lance in my hand, so I could swing over Gaios. And then he didn't Gaios me, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna 10-2. That was a game I drew 10-2. I hate drawing 10-2. That card sucks. But at 10-2, I was gonna Shockmaster, and then I disconnected. So I decided to just play faster in game 2 and 3. In game 2, I don't remember. I have no idea what happened in game 2. I was so tired. I didn't sleep the night before. I made the deck the night before.
That was stupid.
But, yeah, really stupid. But game 3, he misplayed. He had a messenger up, and he had a pike that was Phoenix chain, and I think he had a pike that was Phoenix chain and a Fist Tooth in defense mode, the 2400 defense. And he had a messenger up, and he summoned Diva for Marksman, and right there he could have synchroed with the Phoenix Chain Pike for DeLorean, picked up the Marksman and the Tooth, and then discarded it to blow up my Mirror Force and swing for a punch, leave me at 15, and he had a Lind in his hand, so that attacking direct during any point of the game would have killed me. But instead, he left his Pike in attack mode, summoned Diva, I got Marksman, attacked, and I had Mirror Force, and then there was another point in the game where he had a Tooth in defense, I think it was the same Tooth, and I summoned Banisher, and at this point I decided I did the Fire Fist Banisher thing, where I took out the Tengus, and the card and the tour guide, and I realized I had like no outs to it, because I couldn't pop with Bear with Banisher up, and I was just hoping that he'd push at me, and I would be able to stop it and then push back. Yeah, I did side of the tour guide, so I couldn't even XYZ with it. So I was banking on that, or drawing Dark Hole or something, and he drew the 1 card in hand, Soul Taker, and then attacked for 17, so that put like all my bears online again, and I don't think he should have Soul Taker, but those are 2 huge things in that match that let me come back and win. So I shouldn't have won that match, but...
You did, and you're a champion.
Yep.
All right. In general, why don't you tell me, let's ignore the times that you disconnected. Did you enjoy your tournament experience online?
Yeah, it was fun. It was a chill day.
Chill day. That's cool.
Yep.
You didn't smell any smelly Yu-Gi-Oh players besides Dalton.
Yeah, that was awesome. I made him take a shower after round 2, but
Okay.
that was good. Oh, one more thing. I forgot to talk about Starlight Road.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask about that. I meant that.
Yeah, it was when we were testing. I tested with like the Tensins first, and that was another reason I played card to make up for when I drew Tensin, because they were like blank cards in my hand, and Tensu, and they just kind of stuck. And Starlight Road was, I just needed real traps in my back row. I didn't want to have like Tenki, like a Tensin Essers, and a Starlight Road. And it was good against Heavy Storm, but Fire Fist is the kind of deck where you summon Bear, pop swing, and if that goes through, you keep swinging with the Bear, you don't keep summoning. And if they do deal with the Bear, you go summon Bear, swing. So it's always like one monster on the board, unless you summon a Tengu, or unless you draw a Rescue out of it. So it seemed to really win more to run Starlight Road, other than like Heavy Storm. And even when I did run it just for Heavy Storm, I would get Heavy Storm when I didn't have Road, and then I would have Road, and they wouldn't have Heavy Storm. So I just like, screw it, not gonna play Road. It's pointless. Why am I playing this card? So it was kind of risky, but it paid off, I guess.
Would you run it if you could go back in time?
No, I didn't get Heavy Storm that much.
All right. Okay. Well, is there anything you want to say before we wrap things up here?
I don't think so. Just thanks for the tournament experience. It was really fun. There was a lot of good testing. So
I hope to see you in the next one. Well, actually, maybe not. It depends on your internet. Anyway. All right. So thanks for doing this. I appreciated having you. Congratulations again for winning the 4th Dueling Network tournament. And take care.
All right, you too.
Bye.